Hi everyone, welcome to Hauler Time. My name is Amy and I have got a YumYum box review for you today, so stay tuned. Alright, so I just filmed a Temu video a little bit ago, so this is still New Year's Eve for me. And now I'm going to be doing a YumYum box because in case you didn't watch that other video, we have the boyfriend over tonight. Well, till just after midnight before we take him home. And they all really want to do the YumYum box because they really like doing that when he comes over to visit. So I got to do my part first before we can all try it out. And this is the Christmas box, I assume, because the box is red this time instead of blue. And I do not know what country we've got. And I'm trying to find the spot where I can open it. And I've gotten the Temu, well, you guys don't care. You'll already see it, never mind. Okay, so let's see what we've got. I think that we've got the whole world on this one. This is normally where it would identify what country we're doing or group of countries. So last time was Scandinavia, which is a group of countries. This one doesn't say, and then this one says around the world. So that should be interesting. So if you've never watched one of these videos before, I pay for this myself. This is not sponsored. My family loves this box. It's normally each month you get a box of treats from a specific country, or like I said, group of countries. And you get a pretty good mix of sweet and savory treats in the box. This is Universal Yums is the one that produces this, and they have 3 different subscriptions, and I have the middle subscription, which, let me go, since I just happen to have my YouTube studio open, let me go look and see. Okay, I pay $30.33 a month for this box, and that includes shipping. And if you happen to find yourself interested in getting a box for yourself, I will have the code below in my description, and if you sign up with my code, you get $5 off of a subscription box, and I get $5 off of a subscription box. So we really like this box. Now, we have done the high level box before, but since we were kind of doing this for this channel, as some additional content, we just decided to do the medium box this time. But the big box includes a few more snacks, and there's usually a beverage in it. So I don't know what it costs because I don't pay attention to the other ones, and the smaller size box would just have fewer snacks. But this ends up being a really good mix of snacks for our family, and there's 11 snacks in this box. So okay, so I don't need to look at that anymore. So let's get started. So when you get your first box, it comes with a passport, and in each box you get stamps for your passport. So this is our 4th box. So we've done the Czech Republic, and there's videos out there. I have a YumYum box playlist. So we did the Czech Republic, we did Germany, and we did Scandinavia. And so this one will be around the world. So they give you a stamp sticker to put in your book. And they also give you a flag, which is normally the country's flag, but this time it's the North Pole. And they also give you a flower sticker up here, which is normally like the country's flower, I think. But of course this time it's a poinsettia. And then there's a spot on the back of this to put your flower, and then once you get all these flowers filled in, you can message them and they will send you a prize, a special surprise. All right. And then they do give you stickers. I never point this out, but they do give you stickers, a sticker for the most wild and fearless taster. And then they give you one for the people that don't like to try everything. And believe me, I've tried everything in these boxes and there have been some really disgusting things. Now, not disgusting like gross, just things that my palate doesn't like. For example, I do not like caraway seeds, and I got some caraway pretzels in a box, and the last box had some like ginger toffee, and that was disgusting because I hate ginger. So they also give you a star for the person who wins the most trivia, because in this little book there's trivia questions. So, and then on the back of this they give you a place to score everything. So when my family goes through this, we'll rate everything 1 to 5 just to see which thing won. And I always say I'm going to tell you guys which thing won, and I never do. So I'm sure I won't this time. If I was smart, I would just take a picture of this and post this to my community page, but I'm not usually that smart. Okay, so, ooh, there's some really good looking things in here. I'm excited. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open it up and go past the trivia and get started. Okay, so I will read to you about these items. Okay, salted egg yolk popcorn, Taiwan's most excellent holiday tradition. I'm trying to figure out how I can do this so the color is not so bad. Eggs, they're not just for breakfast anymore. That's because in Taiwan, they're the ultimate celebration food. Egg dumplings called zongzi. I'm not going to pronounce any of these things right, so it won't do you any good to try to correct me. Egg dumplings are a staple of the summertime Dragon Boat Festival. Egg yolk-filled mooncakes are a must for the fall moon festival, and locals eat soy sauce-soaked tea eggs on the Lunar New Year to ensure a year of wealth and prosperity. Now, when I was growing up, I used to come home from school and make scrambled eggs with soy sauce. And then there's this extra special, extravagantly excellent popcorn. Was that too many egg puns for one sentence? While we can't promise it'll bring you riches, we can guarantee rich flavor and an even richer cultural background. So pop open that bag and let's celebrate the Taiwanese way. All right. I, of course, forgot my Ziploc bags again. Let's hope these don't go flying across the room. They smell good. It smells like popcorn when you first open it. They fill their bags like America does. Sorry, my ring light is kind of in a bad spot today. This is melt in your mouth popcorn. Wow, that really tastes like egg. It is on the saltier side. So I've had egg flavored things on from YumYum before that really, really, really tasted like eggs. This one, it tastes like a salted egg, but more because it's the yolk, more in a creaminess kind of way. Not really getting a strong egg flavor, but if I was, it would be similar to the egg flavor you get from egg drop soup, which is egg, but it's not like a strong egg. So this I'm gonna give a 3 because it's original. We don't have anything really like this in the States, but I think it could have a little bit more egg flavor just because I think it was potato chips I had before that were egg flavored. Fried egg, maybe that was the difference. And this is just egg yolk. So again, I think you're getting the yolkiness, the creaminess of the egg in this, just not a really strong egg flavor. I kind of, yeah, it's got soy in it. Did it say it had, that may be where the salted part of the flavor comes from, was the soy sauce. Well, that's what locals would do with their eggs. But I could kind of see getting a soy sauce flavor to this too, but it's very light, so don't think it's gonna taste like soy sauce. But yeah, so I think it has potential, but I don't think it quite got there, so I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna make a mess. I've got my orange soda here, my orange Shasta from the Dollar Tree, to cleanse my palate. I have water here too, but it's New Year's Eve. All right, next are truffles from France. Woohoo! All right, where are those at? All right, raspberry macaron. Filled with bits of raspberry macarons. It was Christmas Day, 1895. The pristine snow was cold, but the ovens in French pastry chef Louis Dufour's bakery ran hot. Last-minute shoppers were looking for something new and delicious to serve their holiday guests. Were there really last-minute shoppers back in 1895? You think they didn't get everything done ahead of time back then? That was when inspiration struck and Chef Dufour whipped up what we now know as chocolate truffles. The little morsels were an instant success and are now one of France's most famous desserts. Try them for yourself and savor the rich French chocolate with all the crunchy, fruity sweetness of raspberry macaron cookies. Bon appetit! All right, so when I open these, I gotta see how many there are to see if I have to cut them or not, since there's now 7 of us that are going to be tasting these later. And because this one, well, actually, I always try for my diabetic friends, try to tell you nutritional information. So this whole bag was 220 calories and 6 grams of sugar. And that was a serving size, was the whole bag. This one, the whole bag is also a serving size for 210 calories and 14 grams of sugar. Okay. There are 6 truffles. So I'm going to say that I can eat a whole truffle because I'll just cut the others in half from when we do it. I mean, that's fair, right? I should get a whole one. So they're coated in cocoa. This is going to get all over my teeth because I want to bite into it so you can see the center. That was a very dark cocoa. So you can kind of see there's little pieces of stuff in there. Okay, this is awesome. Crunchy. This is so good. So like I said, the outside has a very dark, bitter chocolate cocoa on it. The inside has a really, really clear raspberry taste. I mean, you can tell it's raspberry. The raspberry does not overwhelm the chocolate does not overwhelm the raspberry. And then it's got the pieces of cookie in there that give you the crunch. And the chocolate on the inside is a darker chocolate, but it's not bitter. So, but I don't think it's a milk chocolate, but hang on. It's so good. Where's my napkin? The chocolate is sweet, but not, there's enough of the raspberry to give you the tartness and enough of the outer cocoa to give you some bitterness. So it's not overwhelmingly sweet. It's like really a great mix of everything. This gets a 5 from me. And the rest of the family is going to be lucky if this makes it upstairs. Kudos to France. So far this is winning. Okay. Next we're going to the United Kingdom for some mocktail bonbons. Okay, let me take a drink. Oh, this is sad. This orange soda is not as good as that bonbon was. Okay. Like trying to hold it in a way that you can see everything. Celebrate New Year's Eve with the UK's juiciest pub faves. If you're English and 18 or older, odds are you'll be heading to your favorite local pub to ring in the new year. Well, 21 in the States. But with these British mocktail bonbons, parents, there's no alcohol inside. The pub is headed straight to you instead. Pop open some bubbly Prosecco. Oh man, this is gonna be embarrassing. I don't know how to pronounce normal drinks because I don't drink. Pop open some bubbly Prosecco, sip on a fruity peach Bellini. Oh, well, I do get the peach Bellini iced tea at the Olive Garden. That counts, right? Tip back a tequila sunrise, pucker up for a cranberry Cosmo, or opt for a classically British gin and rhubarb. I love rhubarb. Nobody ever talks about rhubarb. Rhubarb's not very popular in the States, which is sad. My dad used to make a really awesome rhubarb pie. So good. Whatever cocktail flavor you choose, raise a glass full of these candies, the world's juiciest toast to the new year. But remember to always chew responsibly. All right, well, let's see. This will be one that'll probably be hard to share. So it had a picture of all the ones that I read off. Now, if these are hard candies, okay, they're not. Okay, this is what they look like. But are they gummy? And how do I know what flavor is what? I cannot try all of these for you because then there wouldn't be enough to go around. So I'm just going to take this one. It's kind of pink and green. Which I think is this one over here, but I have no idea. I'm not going to know if this tastes right. This tastes like it's got grapefruit. Which one of these things would have had grapefruit in it? Is that Prosecco? Prosecco? It's not the cranberry or the rhubarb or the peach. Now I guess it could be a tequila sunrise. I don't know what's... I should look that up. Not with that clicker. Like, where's the right keyboard? Tequila sunrise. Okay, well, so you guys probably knew this already, but I didn't. Tequila sunrise combines tequila, orange juice, and grenadine. So I'm getting a citrusy flavor, so that definitely could be it. But let's go take a look at the Prosecco. I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong. Okay, well, it's just showing me bottles. Well, that's not helping me. So is it just a sparkling wine with grapes? Okay, I'm not getting grapes from this, so I think this really must have been the tequila sunrise. So I have no idea what tequila tastes like, so I can't tell you if it's hit the mark there. But it's really good. The orange in it is really good. So it is like a gummy, but it is very juicy. So they were not kidding about these being juicy. So in case it helps, I think it's this one. In case that looks like... See... Well, I don't know. This probably is the sunrise. I don't know. The colors of the balls of the candy next to it aren't... None of them have that strong green color, so I don't know which one it is. But... sorry, it's stuck in my teeth. But not like toffee would be, okay? So if you've got dental work that you're worried about, I think you'll be fine with these. Move it along. Going to Argentina next. Sorry. Okay. So, next we're going to Argentina for some dulce de leche filled plum cake. I feel like we've had that. Maybe from the Czech Republic. Alright, so this almost looks like a breakfast bar in the States. Soft and airy with dulce de leche jam inside. You're holding the solution for family peace this holiday season. Whoa, family peace. Dulce de leche. According to legend, politician Juan Manuel de la Rosa had a maid who accidentally cooked milk and sugar for too long on the stove. When she returned, the concoction was so gooey and sweet, she thought she'd need to throw it away. But De La Rosa sampled it and loved it so much that he shared it with his political enemy, who was also his cousin, as they discussed a peace treaty. We're basically saying that once everyone in your family tries this famous Argentinian Christmas cake, they might just start agreeing on, well, we don't really know, but at least they'll agree that it's delicious. Oh, and I didn't rank. Okay, so these, I didn't try all the flavors, obviously, but the one I tried was really good. So I'm going to give these a 4 because it's kind of unique to me. And the flavor was good. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to have to cut this. Let's try to do this so I don't end up dropping all this stuff on the floor. I do have a plate over here and a knife. Ooh. Before I lose the nutrition facts, this whole thing is 190 calories, 13 grams of sugar. Okay, I'm not opening this very well. And this whole bag, so we keep getting, the whole bag is 190 calories and 26 grams of sugar. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to put this on the floor for a minute so that I can cut. Okay, so it comes wrapped in a little thing. Now at first glance it's not entirely appetizing. And it feels like it, I mean it's supposed to be airy, but it feels like it's kind of moist. Alright, so this is how it looks on the inside. I'm hoping it's a airy sponge, it's like a sponge cake kind of look to it, but I'm hoping it's not too crumbly. Well, it's not bad sponge. The cream on the inside is really good. It definitely borders on a caramel flavor. And I don't know if dulce de leche, isn't that just sweet cream or sweet milk? Which is in the same family as caramel, right? Just depends on probably how long you cook it. I don't know. I'm not an expert. But there's a little bit of, on the sponge part, there's a little bit of aftertaste, which is kind of papery, which may just be a result of having been in this paper, but that doesn't really speak well for that product, right? But the cream on the inside is nice and it's light. It's not sticky really or overly sweet. It's a good milky kind of, like a brown, not chocolate milk, but caramel, you know, it's going towards the caramel side. So it would, I guess, more compare to like a Twinkie in terms of texture, kind of, with the sponginess and the fact that it's got a filled center. This is probably better than a Twinkie, but it's kind of, I don't know. The sponge is not the best. The texture of the sponge is good, but the taste of it's not the best. So this, I'm probably going to give this a 2. It's like, don't smash the sponge. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely my least favorite so far. Right, now we're going to Spain with some truffle flavored chips. Yay. I want to say achoo. A Spanish holiday delicacy. In Spain, 'tis the season of truffles. Starting in November, trained dogs scour the northern region of Aragon in search of the coveted underground fungus. Once sniffed out, the truffles are sold for between $250 and $350 per pound. It's no wonder they're dubbed the Black Diamonds of Spain. But even though the country is flush with black truffles, that doesn't help their other insatiable craving for the white variety. Milder, lighter, and tangier than the native variety, white truffles are imported to Spain in droves, making appearances in salads, garnishes, and sometimes in decadent potato chips like this. All right, well, I always like, you almost always get at least one potato chip in here, in these boxes. And I think we might finally have not gotten a box that has a tomato flavored potato chip like we've gotten, I think, the last 3 times. Now I say that, if you're thinking about getting this box, they were all different. It was not the same bag of chips in each one. And so far we have not, I don't think, run across, we haven't gotten a country that we already had. So we're doing good. All right, so this bag is 210 calories and 0 added sugars. I'm the only one in my family that likes mushrooms. But hopefully they will give this a try without judgment. But yeah, they don't like the texture, and I don't mind the texture because I love the flavor. Okay. Darn it. I should really try to take the rest of this off so I can show you the inside. Okay. So here we go. Ooh, they look like crunchers, which are super crunchy. Let's put this in the right way. Truffle immediately. You immediately get the flavor. Okay, that is really good. So it's super crunchy, like Cruncher or kettle cooked chips would be in the States. I'm looking for my napkin. And they kind of border on the kind of chips that feel like they have a lot of oil, which is why they're so crunchy. But you can still taste the oil. So this is probably kind of like a truffle oil situation. Now, if you're someone who watches cooking shows, nobody ever has anything positive to say about truffle oil. And whenever I would see somebody getting ready to use truffle oil, I'm like, no, don't do it. It won't work out. And I don't know, maybe that's because it's super hard to get the right amount, but I'm assuming that's kind of what they have to do for these chips. But you taste the truffle immediately, and it's not very strong. You're not sitting there thinking overly mushrooms, like woodsy, dirty, and I mean dirty like dirt, since they come in the dirt. You're not getting that super, we'll say fresh, super fresh mushroom taste. But you do get, it is, it's so good. It's almost like you're biting into a mushroom, but you're not getting that mushroom texture. You're getting the chip texture, but you're getting all that flavor. It's like a full mouth flavor of mushroom, which thankfully I like. So these I'm going to give a 4.5 because they're not as good as the truffles, but they are awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So good job, Spain. I'm trying to find one small piece. Have one more. It's almost like they're sauteed mushrooms. That's really kind of what I am thinking. So yeah, those, excellent. All right. Next we're going to the Ukraine for some crab candy. Oh boy. So it's going to be in this bag. I'm going to have to see how many there are, because there's another kind of candy in this one too. Does this mean that they're going to taste like crab? Okay, there's 4 in here, so I can only have half of one. So I'm going to put this down. Don't worry, I'm still going to read to you. I just need to... Yeah, it looks like a hard candy. Hopefully is not going to taste like crab, although it's kind of colored like you would expect for crab. Ugh. I don't think my kid brought me a strong enough knife. Okay, so I think what this means is I'm gonna have to say this one is mine, and I just won't get to taste it upstairs. I don't really want to chew it because it is a hard candy, so I feel like this would be kind of gross, so I'm gonna turn around and suck on it a little bit and then tell you what it tastes like. Okay. Doesn't taste like crab, so thank heavens for that. All right, let's see. Chocolate peanut powder in a crunchy candy shell. So I was tasting the peanut. During the weeks between Christmas Eve and Epiphany, the streets of Ukraine are full of music. That's because it's prime time for Christmas caroling. It had the Ukrainian word for Christmas caroling, which we'll just say Christmas caroling. Carolers will dress up in colorful costumes, going door to door to spread holiday cheer. The merrymakers are rewarded with gifts of fruit, cash, and sweets. Don't be alarmed if one of those sweets is called crab candy. The name comes from the hard pink shell. Crunch down and you're savoring a chocolatey peanut powder that melts in your mouth. And don't worry, there's no fishiness here, only music to our mouths. Oh darn it, that probably means that it's only hard on the outside. Oh, I'm gonna make a mess. Hang on. Actually, let me pause because that's kind of rude for me to turn my back. So let me pause and come back. Okay. So that hard outer shell cracks pretty easily. I just didn't have the right kind of knife. Looks like this on the inside. Tastes just like Butterfingers. That's the consistency and the flavor. So the only thing is different is you do still get some of the sweetness from the outer shell that you don't get with Butterfingers because they have a chocolate coated shell. Well, not even a shell, it's just dipped in chocolate. So I like the candy coating on this one because I think sometimes a Butterfinger, the chocolate and peanut butter kind of fight against each other, and this just makes the peanut butter a little sweeter. It doesn't really take away from that flavor. So yeah, so that's pretty good. I'll give it a 4. Okay. And I'm sorry, I can't tell you nutritional facts. I think there's nutritional facts for everything in the back of the book, but I'm not going to look that up. Hang on. Okay, that one, if you have dental work, that one might give you a little bit of problem with the coating on the outside, because as I was chewing it, it was getting kind of sticky. So just something to keep in mind. All right, the next is Italy. So milk chocolate with strawberry popping candy. So that should be a big winner with the family. Truffles as exciting as Italian fireworks. Visiting Italy for the new year? You'd better watch your step and maybe bring some ear protection, because Italians are positively bonkers for their New Year's fireworks displays. While Christmas is for family time, New Year's is when people live it up and party. Oh, sorry. Even when the public displays end, many locals keep the festivities going, with some even throwing fireworks right out of apartment windows. Prefer some peace and quiet? You can still get in on some of the fun with these truffles filled with strawberry popping candy. They're like fireworks in your mouth. So let's see if I can cut this. Okay, so it's your basic round bonbon. Oh, it's like a white chocolate on the inside, and then you can sort of see a little bit of pink for the popping candy, but really not very many. Like, there's some in this one little corner, but you don't really see much anywhere else. It's a really good strawberry flavor, but it's starting to pop. But sometimes the white chocolate is overpowering the strawberry flavor. Can you hear that? I'm like trying not to do that in a gross way. That wasn't as gross, sorry. Okay, so I kind of feel like it's still going. I kind of feel like it's a really good white chocolate bonbon that is invaded by strawberry popping candy. So in the beginning, when I first bit into it, I could get a good strawberry flavor, but then it just turned into, like, the strawberry flavor didn't last very long. The interior of the bonbon, the white chocolate, was very creamy and was very melty, and like I said, that it was a really good bonbon from that side of it, but it's definitely, it's still popping in my mouth. It's definitely a weird juxtaposition of texture and taste, and I bet kids would love it, but as an adult, I would prefer to just have the bonbon without the strawberry. But I'll give it points for originality, so I'm going to give it a 3. All right, so the next, we're going to Germany next, which should be good, but it's never as good as I hope it would be. And I say that because one of the countries we've already visited was Germany, and it was kind of disappointing. So what are they going to do here? They're going to give us dark chocolate gingerbread bites, and I do not like ginger. Maybe they accidentally forgot to put it in the bag. Could I be that lucky? No, they never, no, maybe sometimes. All right, well, they're here. And looks like I'm going to have to eat a whole one. Ugh, okay. 3 layers of cookie, jelly, and persipan. Meet the holiday yum with it all. Invented in 1936, Germany's now classic Dominostein has 4 essential parts: a base of Lebkuchen, the gingerbread locals have been loving since the 13th century, a layer of tart fruit jelly, okay, well maybe that'll help take away some of the gingerbread taste, a slathering of persipan, a fluffy confection made from ground apricot kernels. Ground apricot kernels, is that the seed? Is that what they're saying? Well, I like apricots, but... And finally, a coating of luscious dark chocolate. But forget about counting layers. We'd rather count how many whole pieces we can eat. Well, okay. I try to keep it real on here, you guys. And when I love something, you'll know it. And when I do not, you'll know it. But I'll never spit anything out in front of you or even off camera. I will eat it all. The piece that I've chosen to eat. All right, before I do that, 2 pieces is a serving for 110 calories and 14 grams of sugar. See, and this would be where I would say, it's not worth it. But maybe they'll surprise me. All right, so it looks like a petit four, kind of. You can see the layers. Okay. The gingerbread sponge cake on the bottom is gotta go. But the jelly is tart. It is distracting, but not enough. The gingerbread is pretty strong and spicy. Not hot spicy, just, you know, spicy. The persipan, I'm not getting a good sense of that. So let me see if I can bite that off by itself. Okay. It has a grittier taste. I was kind of wondering if it would be like nougat or Three Musketeers texture, but it's not. It's a grittier. It's grittier, and it just kind of tastes sweet. I'm trying to tell if it's got kind of an almond flavoring in it, but maybe it's just whatever the apricot kernels are. And this didn't say what kind of jelly this is. I'm going to try to eat the jelly without getting any more of the cake. Not eating that part now. I tried it. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that tart jelly is apricot. Because it kind of, if you've ever had apricot jam, it's got, well, it's got that same texture, which is not the same texture as a grape jam, right? Because grape jam is pretty clear even when it's jam, but this, you can tell it has some texture to it, but it doesn't have a very strong flavor. So that's why I'm saying I'm taking a guess that it's apricot, since we're also using apricot in the persipan. It doesn't have a strong citrus flavor. It doesn't have a strong berry flavor. So that's what's leading me to think that it's apricot. But it's kind of, it's weird. By itself, it's not very tart, but when it's all together, then it is tart. So I guess that's the beauty of the geniuses that put things like this together, is they know how to make certain parts sing without, well, in this case the gingerbread did overpower everything, but there was still that tartness in the back. So it's kind of weird how that works, because it really wasn't very tart by itself. So if you like gingerbread and jelly, I think you'd like this. And the chocolate part was kind of a non-issue. So it was dark chocolate, but it wasn't overly bitter. It definitely wasn't sweet. And it just kind of held everything together, right? I guess it's just the capsule that this came in. But it didn't really add to the flavor of it. So if you don't like chocolate but you like these other things, I think you'd still like this, because it's really, the chocolate's kind of an afterthought. All right. Did I say what I'd give that? I'm going to say a 1, because I don't like gingerbread. All right. Oh, churros. All right. Going to South Korea for some churros. All right. Churros. A South Korean festival fave. Hop over to Seoul at the end of December and you'll be just in time for their Lantern Festival, an annual Christmas time tradition. Such and such square gets a glowing makeover of lights, lanterns, and of course a giant Christmas tree. But our favorite part is the street food. Churros are one of the most popular street foods in the entire country, with people munching over 3,000 of them a day. So it's no surprise they'd also make an appearance during the holidays, and simply why we needed to share their deliciousness with you. All right, so cinnamon sugar churros. There are 3 servings in this bag, and they're saying a serving is about 11 pieces. And for a serving, it's 150 calories and 6 grams of sugar. For the whole bag, it would be 460 calories and 19 grams of sugar. It smells good. I definitely like cinnamon. Okay, so that's what they look like. Just look like, it's almost kind of like Taco Bell. These are like, they, you know, airy, like the Taco Bell cinnamon twists. So here we go. That is good. Definite cinnamon flavor, definite sugar flavor, very much like if you ever made cinnamon sugar toast. The churro itself has a nice crunch, but it's not too crunchy. It's not hard, but it's a nice crunch. It doesn't dissolve in your mouth. I mean, you do have to chew it, but it's got a really light cinnamon sugar. Also very similar to a snickerdoodle cookie, because those aren't very overpowering either. So yeah, so that's really good. It's, like I said, it's very much like the cinnamon twists here in the States, except it's not as airy as the cinnamon twists. And for those of you that have Jack in the Box, they have those churros, right? But they're filled with stuff, but it's still the same kind of flavor. So those are really good. I'm gonna say a 3.5 for those. And I'm cheating by doing these halvesies, because I don't let my family do halvesies. But I can do whatever I want on this channel. All right, next we're going to turkey, and thank heavens it's not turkey flavored cotton candy, which I've gotten from them before. We are going to get some Turkish Delight. Strawberry and pomegranate Turkish Delight. Turkey's famous New Year's Eve tradition. 300 years ago, Sultan Abdul Hamid wanted to woo his wives by gifting them a new dessert. He called upon his kingdom's many confectioners to craft the next big sweet. And one of them did just that. In his tiny Istanbul candy shop, Bekir Effendi mixed sugar syrup with starch, cooked it for 6 hours, and then cut it into cubes. The result? Turkish Delight, one of the world's most famous sweets and a Turkish New Year's Eve tradition. There are 2 pieces per serving, which is 90 calories and 19 grams of sugar. This is a really pretty box that I am, of course, going to make sure does not hit the trash bin when we are done, unless I totally destroy it trying to open it. It's so pretty. Okay. Well, that's good. So it's a bag within a bag. So this way I can definitely keep this box for other uses. All right. Ooh. Some powder just came out. Are you guys seeing that? Okay, it appears there's enough pieces that I can have a whole piece. This feels like a powdered sugar covered gummy, but we'll see. For some reason I was thinking Turkish Delight was like, what is that? Oh, Divinity. I was thinking Divinity. Forget that. Okay, so let's see. Well, it's very noisy. Okay, so this is really like a powdered, it's not, I was going to say a powdered sugar gumdrop, but I'm not sure it's sugar on the outside. Well, I guess. Okay, well, I was trying to think, is this really powdered sugar? Because it doesn't taste like powdered sugar. At least like what we have in the States. If it is powdered sugar, it's not sweet. This part is very sweet, but it doesn't. It's supposed to be strawberry and pomegranate. I'm not picking out either one of those flavors. If I am picking out a flavor of the two of those, it'd be the pomegranate. The strawberry should definitely have a much stronger presence in this. I would assume it would be the stronger presence between those two fruits. I'm going to lick the outside. What kind of powder would, well, it's not cornstarch. Although they do use starch for this. Well, maybe, surely it's not cornstarch on the outside of that. But it really doesn't, well, maybe it's a mix of cornstarch and confectioner sugar. A slight hint of pomegranate. No strawberry to speak of. So it makes me wonder, did I just get a pomegranate piece and some of the pieces are strawberry? Or was it supposed to be strawberry and pomegranate together? They all look the same to me, so they're not bad. They're pleasant, but kind of boring. I think I'd like there to be a little bit more tartness or more fruit flavor. Just something to give it more flavor. So I'll give those a 2. All right, now we're going to Thailand. Is this the last one? Yes. This is the last one. YumYum coconut rolls. Oh man, this is tiny. I may only be able to have a little piece of this. Thailand's hottest New Year's tradition. In Thailand, you get to celebrate the New Year not once but twice. The first celebration is the Thai New Year Songkran, celebrated April 13th. But December 31st is also considered a national holiday. No matter which New Year you're celebrating, it's almost guaranteed that you'll be slurping down a hot bowl of YumYum soup made with lemongrass, limes, and tons of herbs and spices. It's considered an important part of Thai heritage because it's such a perfect blend of local flavors. Crunch into these YumYum flavored coconut rolls. You'll be saying yum too. I wasn't thinking about the soup. I just got caught on the coconut and was thinking that was all there was to this. Okay, so this is 1 whole serving. It's 80 calories and 2 grams of sugar. Okay, well, it looks like they come in a nice little plastic tray. That's going to end up all over the floor if I'm not careful. Okay. So they're hollow. So this is interesting. Is this going to be savory or sweet? I'm going to eat a whole one since there's 5 and I can cut up the other ones in half. Okay, well, they definitely smell coconutty. I don't know what... Oh, well, I guess they told us. YumYum is lemongrass, limes, and tons of herbs and spices. Okay. Oh, that's really good. You immediately get the coconut, but then you immediately right after get the spices and the kick from the lime. That is really, really good. So I don't think I've ever had YumYum soup. So I don't know what kinds of herbs and spices there would be in these. And would there be cilantro put on the top of this soup? Because I hate cilantro, but I guess I just picked that off. So there is spice, like heat spice from this. But there's also other spices that I'm afraid is out of my wheelhouse because I don't eat Thai food hardly ever. I don't know, I get scared away because of the cilantro, because a lot of the Thai places around me put cilantro in everything and it seems like a big deal to ask them not to. But I can definitely taste the lime, but it's the spices that... That is so good. So the roll, I think, has to be made out of the coconut because it's crispy like a crispy coconut would be. Okay. That was excellent. I wish I could tell you what spices I'm getting aside from heat, because it's not just heat. It's warm spices. And I don't know if I can tell you if I taste the lemongrass. I'm not really sure what that tastes like. I'm so curious now. I want to look this up to see what spices are in YumYum soup to see if I can taste or if I can tell. But it's so far out of my wheelhouse. Okay, let's just look at a single recipe. It doesn't really matter, right? Well, don't you hate that when you look up at a recipe and it's like you gotta go through all this stuff before you can actually get to the, okay, well, here's some ingredients. So there's garlic. Can't say I taste garlic separate from other things. Chilies, well, yeah, that's probably where the heat is coming from. And then it's got kaffir lime leaves, so maybe, I don't know, it does also have lime juice, so that's, I think I taste the lime juice, not the lime leaves. Oh, it does have coriander, cilantro. Well, it didn't taste soapy to me, so I don't think if they used that in this that it was very strong. And then onion and fish sauce. Well, it could be the fish sauce that's adding the richness and the warmth to the heat. Because really that's really not very many spices per se. So maybe it's the chili paste that I'm getting. The chili paste and the garlic and onion. But yeah, that was really good. So I'm gonna give it a 5 also, which means that it tied with the raspberry truffle. And then I just want to see if they put a game in here. Okay, I don't see a game. They reference a game in here, but it's dreidel. So there's not a dreidel game in here. And then there is always, I forgot to point this out when I did Scandinavia, but there is always a recipe in here too. This one is from Sweden. It's a Sweden potato casserole, so that might be good to try. So that was the box. Let me get out my 2 favorites so I can do, no, not churros. Oh, I really like these too, but they were not as good as these two. So let's take a little, all right, well, thank you for sitting here while I eat in front of you. How rude of me not to share any with you, but I did share my code down below in case you want to get your own box. But otherwise, I think this is the longest one of these videos I've done. We're almost at an hour and 10 minutes. Yikes. So that was fun. Now I need to go upstairs and hang out with the family. I think I've heard the boyfriend has never watched The Twilight Zone, and my kids also haven't seen that. And you know, that's a really popular thing to do on New Year's Eve is watch, or New Year's Day. Which is it? I don't know. I feel like when I was a kid, it was New Year's Eve that you'd sit up all night and watch Twilight Zone episodes. So I think we may do some of that. We're going to do the YumYum box. We've got all kinds of what I call Super Bowl food, so finger foods to munch on all night. And then we went to the Dollar Tree and got those sparkling juices, glass bottles of juice for each of us to have when it comes to midnight. And then tomorrow, our family's tradition is to watch Pride and Prejudice. Not the movie, but the miniseries with Colin Firth. That is the only Pride and Prejudice worth watching, in my opinion. So we always watch that on New Year's Day, and so that's what we will be doing tomorrow, which will probably be yesterday, because I think this probably won't air until Tuesday. But anyway, I hope you had a great New Year's Eve, a great New Year's Day, and if you're stuck back at work now after all the holidays are over, I'm sorry, I am too. It's kind of, you get past all these holidays, and then it's like no holidays for me until Memorial Day in May. So, ugh. But I guess that gives me time to bank back up my PTO that I've spent on all these holidays. But otherwise, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please give me a thumbs up. I love seeing and reading your comments. I read every one of them, and I just thank you for all of your support. And wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you are having a good day. And until we meet again, please take care of yourself. Talk to you later. Bye.